just listened to Mr. Justin Jefferson.
Bills Mafia kind of expect from him as head coach?
I mean, he's already been doing a phenomenal job behind the scenes. Of course, of course, the TV crew, show him out in the box, calling the plays and stuff. But I mean, he's a great guy. He's a great coach. Having him as my offensive coordinator, my 2019 year. I mean, we had so much fun together. Just building and working on our craft. I feel like he was mostly the reason why I got picked first round. He's the reason why my hands got better. Why a lot of things occurred during that season. So I'm just proud of him to go from the Saints to LSU. Now he's back in the league. Now he's about to be a head coach. So it's a blessing. It's honestly crazy to see the change over the past years. So I'm happy for him. I'm happy to see the different things that he do, especially of course with Josh Allen at quarterback. But I'm excited to see how he carries that team and how he controls that team.
Your
Okay, so I showed that, and there was a reason why I showed that. So let me pull up this. So that was courtesy of USA Today. He did an interview with the gentleman. I can't think of his name right now, but I'll put it back and link it back into the description once the video is done, the live is done. But this is his quote on Mr. Sam Darnold. It's definitely tough. It's tough to watch. I love that he's in the Super Bowl. I'm happy for him. I want nothing but the best for him, especially the way his journey was at first. People doubting him and people not giving him the respect. Now they're giving him the respect. Now they're saying that he's a top tier quarterback in this league. Of course, selfishly, I wish he had done that for us last year. But to see him blossom and bounce back right after last year and make it this year, I'm happy for him. And I hope he wins. I root for Seattle, and I think Seattle's going to win. I'll be rooting for him. Okay. So we're going to take that one into context here. Remove this from the screen. So I made a video on the old channel last year, and I felt like Justin Jefferson wanted to be traded then. I said, he wants out. Now, this is before they had even signed Sam Darnold. No one knew what Sam Darnold was going to turn into. But they let Kirk Cousins go. Kirk Cousins went down to Atlanta. No quarterback, right? I felt like Justin Jefferson was already sniffing around like, I don't want to be here. And I had made that conclusion, and I was like, he's going to start asking for a trade. And I think, to my recollection, teams had started kind of calling the Vikings saying, hey, is Justin available? And I think they were kind of like, it would have to be a Godfather offer for us to get off of Justin Jefferson. But more than likely, no. I mean, the dude is that much of a talent, and he was in a contract year. So then they end up getting Sam Darnold. It ended up working out. They end up going, 14-3. They get bounced, but Sam Darnold and Justin Jefferson had they best numbers, right? So now you're in this situation and you see Justin Jefferson. And even from that little piece right there, the pain in that man's face is saying everything. He know Minnesota dropped the ball. There's no way in hell you let your quarterback go. That's gotten you. That's a younger quarterback that you had on the cheap. All you had to do was give him 30 to 35 million for a couple years, just like Seattle did. They literally did the same thing. And he gave you proof. You rehabilitated Sam Darnold, Kevin O'Connell, who is, as we can tell, anytime for the most part, so far he touches the quarterback, He does well with them. Gave Kirk Cousins his best years. Gave Sam Darnold revitalization. Now, J.J. McCarthy, I went high on J.J. McCarthy coming out of school. I'll be honest, I went high on him coming out of Michigan. Like I said, I saw all the athleticism, great guy, but I just didn't see the tool set be there. And it's not saying that he can't develop that, but I didn't see it. And I damn sure didn't see you taking an established veteran quarterback that's in a 6th or 7th or 8th year, or whatever year Sam is in, that had finally found his way, and then you say, all right, you can go because we wanted to pay you, but we wanted to only give you $20 or $25 million versus just ponying up the money and you got your guy for the future. You bet on J.J. McCarthy, a kid that ran a training wheels offense in Michigan. They were a run-first team. He was a one-read team, make the play. And you're expecting these guys to come in that he's a developmental quarterback, and you're expecting him to come in and take off where Sam Darnold left off at. Take up where Sam Darnold left off at. How is that possible? He was still considered a rookie going into his second year. He didn't play none of his first. Everything that the Minnesota Vikings did was miscalculated. And now you're going to have a situation where I believe Justin Jefferson is going to ask out. Now, how do you keep Justin Jefferson from asking out? That you may be able to put a Band-Aid on? And I'm not even sure you can do that. I don't know what Kirk Cousins is doing. I don't know if Kirk Cousins is retiring. Is Kevin Stefanski going to keep Kirk Cousins in Atlanta until Michael Penix Jr. I said some guy. Michael Penix Jr. gets healthy. Are they going to do that? Because now you need a quarterback down there. So do you then, make that call and say, hey, we need a Band-Aid until we can go draft that guy? Or hopefully McCarthy can sit another year and learn and fully develop and maybe become that guy? Because not only has he not developed, but now he's injury prone. He's always hurt. So not only you got that situation, but then you got this other situation. Why, as a wide receiver who makes their money based off the quarterback getting them the ball, why would I want to stay in Minnesota? And I said it then. I said, at this point, why wouldn't you just trade Justin Jefferson? Names is all over the place today. And I apologize, guys. Get back to it. I'm getting it together. I'm getting it together. But why would I want to trade Justin? Why wouldn't I trade Justin Jefferson? Go get a boatload of picks for him and just start over. Because now you have paid him. Yes, you can go get a king's ransom from him right now. But you had your quarterback in place and y'all fumbled it. Some egos must have got in the way. We did this with Sam Darnold. We could surely do this with J.J. McCarthy. You had Daniel Jones in the building. What was the succession plan? You knew J.J. was not ready, which kicks me over to what I said we're going to explore together. I want to know why the GM got fired. And we're going to explore that together here, together as a team. We're going to find out why the GM got fired. And we're going to listen to the reports of what they give or what they did not give. And we're going to try to decipher this together. Let's see here. All right, so let's see what we get here. Let's see here. Wow. Okay, let's put this up. Wow. All right, this is courtesy of the Athletic. And they said, somebody said around the league, let's see. Once the initial surprise wore off, the agent's reaction mirrored that of many Viking staffers, players, and executives around the league. I'm not shocked that he was let go, one team source texted. I'm just shocked at the timing. Wow. Let's see who wrote this. This is by Alec Lewis and Diana Rossini. Boy, they be Johnny on the spot. They got a story on everything. Let's see what they say. They say for weeks, executives and coaches inside the Vikings building and throughout the NFL had speculated that Adolfo Mensa's job could be in jeopardy. Even after he received an extension last season, even though the Vikings produced a 43-25 record over his 4 seasons, while Adolfo Mensa had a close personal relationships with many players, staffers, and questions about his job status persisted for several reasons. Only 4 of Mensa's 28 draft picks are surefire starters in the future. A paltry return. The team's 2025 quarterback play, that'll do it, following a 14-game win season, contributed to the playoff-less finish. At the same time, former quarterback Sam Darnold was leading the Seattle Seahawks to the Super Bowl. Let's see. Mensa's Wall Street trading background created skepticism among football people inside and outside the organization. That never completely faded. And tension spilled over between Adolfo Mensa and key members of the coaching staff who questioned his experience to do the job. Wow. Wow. Listen, we're going into this together. Uh, this gnarly bundle of dynamics and it's entirely contributed to the Vikings ownership's delayed decision. Almost no one expected the move to come now, 26 days after the Vikings finished season. Let's see what else they said. Let's see. Okay, they saying they felt like he had one more season. I'm just trying to see what else we getting here. Okay, they just stopped believing in him. Really, that's what it looks like. And it's like, ooh wee. Okay, so I think we pretty much got the gist of this story. I'm trying to see if let's see here. Anything else? Wow. Let's see. Okay, that's all we need from that. That's all we need from that. So basically, in a nutshell, I said that when I wanted to go with you guys all together. So basically, in a nutshell, he was fired because of him letting Sam Darnold go. It seems like the inexperience, the ego. And see, I thought this was a Kevin O'Connell thing too. I said, well, hey, he's the quarterback whisperer. You know, maybe he feels like, hey, we can get JJ McCarthy up to the speed of Sam Darnold. That's why if you guys have heard me speak about the Vikings situation, how they fumbled it, I put it all on all of them because I said, well, Kevin O'Connell is probably the guy that said, hey, we could get the other quarterbacks up to speed with what Sam did. But now we're finding out that it was the GM. And that GM was the understudy of Andrew Berry in Cleveland. What I find funny about that situation is that he had 4 years and his draft grade over 4 years might be a D outside of a Justin Jefferson. He had on a couple big picks, but outside of that, his draft grade was terrible. And when you got that type of situation going on, and I look at the Cleveland situation, and they've missed on a whole bunch of draft picks. This last draft was a saving grace for Andrew Berry, or I think he would have been gone, or at least promoted up where he's not picking the players. But they fumbled the ball. And if I was the owner and I'm sitting there in that situation, I'm looking at the situation and I'm saying we gave up a quarterback that we had. He had all the potential. All he wanted was $35 million a year versus 60, which is the going rate for a top elite quarterback price tag. He would have took the Baker Mayfield deal. And now he's in the Super Bowl. If I'm sitting there and I had a team that was 14-3 last year, we went 9-8 as a Vikings fan. I would be so mad. We went 9-8 this year with no quarterback. J.J. McCarthy, Carson Wentz, and the other young guy, the undrafted rookie guy, Hosmer, I think. Hosmer. And y'all still got to 9-8. Barely missing the playoffs. I would be mad if I'm the owner too. Because we thoroughly screwed up. Not only did we have Sam Darnold, but we had Daniel Jones in the building. So we had two quarterbacks in the building that we gave up for a developmental quarterback. Yeah, I would have fired them too. And now you're in a situation where you're starting wide receiver, and now it makes sense to why they made the move, because they got to get somebody in there that know what they're doing. He don't know what he's doing in that situation. And now, he's a Wall Street guy and all this other stuff, and that's great. But you got to have the football mind to go with it. Because all of that could be tangibles to make you somebody great GM, great whatever the case may be. But he made moves based on his ego. And if you like these Wall Street traders, these guys make bold moves. Like, they can go for broke. That's totally different with the NFL, where if you got a defensive tackle or you got a wide receiver or corner, and they like the elite of elite, but you don't want to pay on that money, you could go draft a guy or get another guy to fit the system, and he might not be as good, but he's, you know what I mean? He's workable. You can't do that with a quarterback. What kind of foolishness is that? Yeah, I would have fired him too. And now you got this situation with Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson probably is going to want out. So what do the Minnesota Vikings do? Do they got to try to swing a deal for Kyler Murray? Possible. They got to try to swing a deal for Kyler Murray or somebody. Because now they're in a situation where now you have this team that could be competing deep into the playoffs or maybe a championship run. We're not going to act like we thought Seattle was going to the Super Bowl. If you say you knew Seattle was going to the Super Bowl, either you're a Seattle Seahawks super fan, where you just going to say they're going every year, or you lying. And to watch my quarterback that I had, that I rehabilitated his image and his game, go to another team? Oh, that is crazy. That's crazy. And listen, I don't blame the ownership. But now you got to deal with the Justin Jefferson situation. Look how excited, and let's bring that all the way back around in context, because I'm back in form now. Bring it all into context. We just watched the video 5 minutes ago about Joe Brady in Buffalo. Look how he talked about Joe Brady. Who need a wide receiver, a number one wide receiver? Who need a number one wide receiver? Could it be the Buffalo Bills? By the way, go check out Windows and Wait, Part 1, Josh Allen era. It'll explain everything to you. Buffalo Bills need a number one wide receiver. Josh Allen, Justin Jefferson, Joe Brady is the head coach. Would Buffalo pull the trigger on something like that? Would they pull a trigger on a deal to get Justin Jefferson? At this point in time, now you got to look at Buffalo and say, is it time to go for broke? We literally have mismatched parts. Our offense, Keon Coleman, has not developed yet. organization threw him under the bus. Hopefully, they can make amends or trade him somewhere else. But he's not a number one. At best, he's a good number two. I love Shakir, but he's more of a slot guy, in my opinion. Maybe a number two. Maybe you use him as a slot merchant, really just tear up defenses. But if you added a Justin Jefferson or Josh Allen, now Buffalo had to figure out their whole cap thing because their cap is kind of like a mess, and there had to be some restructuring going on. But would Buffalo make that move? I think that's something we got to think about because I don't think Justin Jefferson wants to be in Minnesota. What's going to make him want to stay in Minnesota? Who's out there? Who are you getting? Can you bring Daniel Jones back? I'm pretty sure he likes his situation with Indianapolis. They'll figure out some type of deal to keep him there. Kyler Murray? There's a lot of good questions out here. You know, now that Arizona hired their head coach, you know, do they want to keep Kyler? Or are they still talking about Kyler, go your separate ways? We want to restart our whole quarterback situation. So now Minnesota is going to have to give up stuff. Let's just say they do get Kyler Murray. Let's just say Kyler Murray's their guy. Now you're going to have to give up draft capital and take on his contract when you had a quarterback in the building. Not one, two. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Like I said, I don't know, like I said, when I do this, I want to roll it all into one thing so it can be digestible and understandable. I understand why the GM got fired in Minnesota. I didn't understand it at first. I seen something about they didn't want him to go on maternity leave. That was the last straw and everything else. Yeah, it was the last straw because they was tired of him already. They were tired of him. You let our quarterback walk out the building. So you got to go. So, you know, that's just a situation. You know, what do you guys think? Do you think Justin Jefferson even stays in Minnesota, or does he get out of there? And if he gets out of there, where does he go? I'm glad that I'm even thinking about that because I'm going to make a video on that, and I'm going to come up with the top destinations. So watch out for a video for that coming soon.